That's cool.
The shonen, or young boy, is a genre of anime and manga that most of the time is characterized by action and adventure in the series. Most of the time, mind you. We will get into that later. I just wanted to make this video to log most, not all, of the series I have seen since I was a kid. Also, huge spoiler warning for like most of these series. I will have timestamps in the description in case you don't want to get spoiled or you want to watch the series in the future. Also, one more big thing, please form your own opinion on this series. Do not take everything I say as the truth. Trust me, form your own opinion. If you want to love a series, you can love a series. If you want to hate a series, you can hate a series. But just form your own opinion before you come at me with pitchforks and hay. Now, just sit back, get comfy, and enjoy part 1 of this new series. I started Dragon Ball when I was in 5th grade. I wanted to watch it, but unfortunately, my mom ain't gonna buy Funimation for like $9 a month. So I went to a local library instead. And let me tell you, I read through this series like there was no tomorrow. I loved OG Dragon Ball. The fights, the comedy, Bulma. Teo Me saw Bulma for the first time, and I never looked back since. There's a sense of adventure in original Dragon Ball that I feel is lost in Z and Super, which sucks. Like, to have such a fun and strange world and not use it is like so sad to me. If I were to pick my favorite arc of OG Dragon Ball, it would have to be the 22nd World Tournament. Every battle in this arc I loved and are still some of my favorite parts in all of Dragon Ball. Krillin versus Chaozu, Tien versus Goku, where Goku lost because of a fucking truck. Do you know how mad that made me as a kid? Goku did all this training and was doing so good in this fight, just to get hit by a car and have him hit the ground first? That had me livid, bro. I was tight. But other than that, every time I go back and watch OG Dragon Ball, I get a warm feeling in my heart. Almost like I'm a kid again. You know, first truly getting into anime and manga. And I still want to say to this day, thank you, Akira Toriyama. May you rest in peace.
I'm a soul reaper. My name is Rukia. The Hollows were once souls of human beings, no different from anyone else.
Time to eat your soul!
After OG Dragon Ball, I started to read the big 3, One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. Now, out of those 3 options, which one do you think little 10-year-old me chose as my favorite at the time? If you said Naruto, 1, I'm gonna find you. 2, it was Bleach. Bleach had a sense of maturity to me when I was young. I don't know if it was the fact that every character was drawn a little bit taller than what I was used to, or the fact that Bleach used more horror elements like hollows. Maybe it was the blood, I don't know. One thing I know for sure is that when I was young, I looked up to Ichigo a lot more even than Goku. He was this kid that was kind of thrust into a situation and kept fighting through battle and hardships. He would lose fights and spring back later even stronger than ever, and I felt that sentiment helped me a lot through life. The cast of characters was so cool visually to me that even if Ichigo wasn't on my screen or page, I could still be interested in what I was reading. The Espada, the Soul Society, everything about this series just had this type of style and edge to it. The OST had this like Hispanic flair to it. It was just so cool, man. Editing Zuri, play that one OST where it sounds like aliens in Mexico. Also, your Zishi was a fine-ass woman.
Nigga, it's a close game and you're shooting that tomfoolery! Don't ever shoot one of those during a close game again unless you want to see my shadow clones!
Naruto was the second anime I ever heard of as a kid. It was always Dragon Ball and Naruto as the 2 most popular animes in the 2000s and 2010s. When I first started getting into Naruto, I had big expectations for the series. And Kid Naruto proved me right. Beginning of Naruto was so much fun. everything from seeing Naruto prove everybody wrong to the fights between side characters like Rock Lee versus Gaara, Naruto versus Neji, to the mystery of Orochimaru and the Akatsuki. This series kept me hooked. And when Kid Naruto ended and went to Shippuden, I was expecting the same amount of quality. I got what I wished for, but it didn't last long. Naruto Shippuden was great up until the end of the Pain arc. After that, this series fell off hard. Now, don't get me wrong. There was some interesting parts like the introduction of Killer Bee, Sasuke attacking the Raikage, and the introduction of Madara. But it was a slog to read/watch, bro. The 4th grade Ninja War was a good 3 to 4 years long. It changed villains like every year, bro. First it was Madara, then it was Obito, then Kaguya. The battles in this arc were just talking matches half the time. Now, I understand the idea of today's enemy can be tomorrow's friend. Being Dynasty Pussy got me acting unwise. Like, I get it. But can y'all like talk while actually being productive? They just stayed around digging in the ass for like 2 years. Bro, Naruto got an all-new form that looks really cool and had a big power boost. Just for him to talk everything out. Like, that shit was ass. Like,
that shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Kaguya was not a good final villain at all. She just spawned in. It was like, I am the mother of chakra. Fight me.
Who the fuck is this nigga, bro?
I'll give Shippuden this. We did get one last good fight between Naruto and Sasuke. That was really good. They lost their arms though. But daddy, Shippuden is awesome.
Man, fuck you, son.
While reading Naruto and Bleach, I was reading One Piece constantly. I remember the moment that One Piece clicked for me. It was Sanji's backstory in Arlong Park. The way Oda can make you feel for these characters in such a short amount of time is amazing to read. I can't tell you how hard I cried reading Nami say to Luffy, help me, and Luffy not saying a word to her and giving her his straw hat. Moments like this show that One Piece is a one-of-a-kind series. Every battle that I encountered in the manga had me glued to my pages, from the jokes in the battle to the emotional moments, such as the jet Gatling gun of Luffy versus Lucci, or Zoro saying nothing happened after battling Kuma. It is an extra cherry on top to the end of an amazing arc. I was always a fan of weird and strange characters, so to see all these unique characters on my pages makes everything so much more special. It adds so much personality to it. One arc that I go back to a lot is Marineford, one of my favorite arcs of all of One Piece. This whole arc is a race to save Ace. I was always drawn to him as a character. He was so interesting to me, almost like he was a brother that I had never had in my life. So to see him get killed before my eyes, it felt like a real family member died in front of my eyes, man. Oda's manga is so amazing that it can touch your heart and show the drive of every character you meet. Whether from small characters like Kobe to big bad like Doflamingo, this series will always have a huge place in my heart, and it will never leave. I first read and watched Fairy Tail when I was in middle school, and I thought it was fine. I got to episode 175 and stopped. After I stopped watching, I started to see online that everybody hated Fairy Tail, saying it was the worst series of all time. And I was persuaded to agree with that claim, that Fairy Tail was bad. After a bit of time, those feelings were gone, and I decided to give Fairy Tail another chance, fairly recently, to prove me wrong, and just to say,
you really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Fairy Tail is the greatest shonen of all time, because it is not. But I think that the series gets shit on a lot more than it needs to be. One thing that I think Fairy Tail does well is that it ramps up the stakes of arcs. Arcs of Fairy Tales will start off perfectly fine, and then just end off on completely other bullshit just happening. The characters are fun and weird, so you know I'm already a fan of that. From Gray always losing his clothes to Urza being a complete and utter badass, the characters are most of the drive of the story, so you better get used to the quirks of the characters. And to be honest with you, they feel more like family and friends than just characters, honestly. One thing I want to defend is the fan service. It ain't that bad. It's not like a panty shot every 2 minutes or a boob every second. It's just a bikini. You know that thing that you see 90% of the time when you go to the beach or pool? Yeah, that. I hate hearing people being like, fairy tale is just fighting and fan service with no substance. Again, I'm not saying that this series is not without its flaws. Nothing is perfect. But I do feel the sentiment of fairy tale should be a lot more positive than it is perceived. Like, especially with newer animes that come out with way worse issues than fairy tale, I feel that it's a perfectly fine series. Oh, and one more thing. One of the quotes I remember the most since I was a kid was from the character Jubia when she fought against Merity. She said the line, "If you have love in your life, then you must keep living. No matter what hardships and pain of my life, I will always keep that line in the back of my head." And I feel that what fairy tale is truly all about. If you have love in your life, and you have love for others and hope for others, then you must keep living, no matter what. Fire Dragon!
Look at y'all working in unison. Perfect. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh my god, we're so fucking good.
My first experience with Soul Eater was when I was scrolling on Netflix in like 2015 with my sister. I remember Soul Eater on one of the lists, and I was instantly like, that! I want to watch that! Now! I watched a few episodes with my sister and I was in love. The style of the characters and the aesthetic of the world was awesome. The power system was so unique, just hitting people with other people. The main cast was also so unique and different. Maka, Soul, Black Star, and Tsubaki, Death the Kid, and Patty and Liz were so fun to see, design-wise and aesthetic and character-wise as well. After I watched like 26 episodes of the anime, I was told to read the manga, and I had a blast with it. I was expecting this fan service though. That caught me off guard. I will say I do want to give Soul Eater its flowers. Without the series, I probably wouldn't be able to get into more horror element series and horror movies in general. Also, shout out to my homie Joel and everybody at the Manga Dub Club. They're doing so good dubbing over the Soul Eater manga.
Fullmetal Alchemist. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Same with Soul Eater. I first watched Fullmetal Alchemist on Netflix. I watched episode 1 with my sister, and then I watched the rest by myself. The writing was some of the strongest I've ever seen in anime. Moments stick with you for the rest of your life. Roaring Mustangs beat down on lust and envy, greed and wrath, and Edward and Alphonse finally getting their bodies back, all burned into my memories. I can't tell you how hard I cried throughout this series. Still to this day, Fullmetal Alchemist is one of the only series that has made me cry for a villain to death. Characters, in my opinion, are the strongest part of Fullmetal. You feel so connected to each character to where something as crazy as someone dying, getting turned into a dog, or losing their eyesight feels so tragic, man. Fullmetal Alchemist is my third favorite anime of all time, and I think it will never leave that spot ever.
Wait, what? What are you eating?
A coconut I grabbed in Hawaii. Care for a bite?
You shouldn't eat the husk.
From one amazing series to another, we have Assassination Classroom. The first time I heard about this series was from a Thomas Sanders video, of all things. I read the story thinking it was going to be this action-filled series, but what I got was way more comedy and drama focused, and I didn't hate it. Everything in the story, from a test to a class baseball game, has so much weight to it, to where it feels like it's a life or death situation. Characters have goals for life, and you want to see them grow through it, literally because they're in middle school. Kuro Sensei is one of my favorite teacher characters in all of anime. In fact, all of fiction. He cares about his students so much to where he makes sure nobody's left out of anything. He's such a lovable character, from his jokes, his design. Kuro Sensei is so amazing, which makes it even sadder when he has to die. The final arc of Assassination Classroom is one of the most tear-jerking arcs in all of anime for me. From Kuro Sensei apologizing to his first ever student to his eventual death, I was tearing up so much. The music used for Kuro Sensei's final moments still haunt me to this day. Like, I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that song.
Stay in the box now! Stay in the box now! Get out of my skin!
But I still think Assassination Classroom is a fun shonen from beginning to end. I just warned every person I recommend this series to bring a tissue box with you on the last 4 episodes.
Yo, somebody get the door! No!
I should have not been reading this at 13. Food Wars is such a fun series. Now, I get it. It's just food porn. Ryan! Don't think I don't see you in your room. Talking about, bro, it's just porn. Yeah, so? If I want to see other people busting over food, I can do that. Also, when I was watching Food Wars, I was not expecting a commentary about political parties and how they're meant to keep each other separated and not keep everybody uniform into one distinct way of stopping the government from taking all your power away. I was so happy I started Yu-Gi-Oh! Through the manga because boy was it different. First off, if you lose in Yu-Gi-Oh! There ain't no Shadow Realm. If you lose, you die and go straight to hell with Hitler, the dude who made algebra. What's his name? Muhammad Ali? Man, fuck you. This is a horror manga. Watches come out of people's arms, Yugi makes Madu goes blind and knocks out a pervert.
This ain't Yu-Gi no more, this Yami, nigga.
This man Kabuto was about to kill himself over a card game.
I'm a straight nigga.
Let me calm down. Duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have the ability to keep you on your toes, just waiting to see what the card the opponent throws out and what effect they have. Almost like a standby in a way. We'll talk about JoJo another day. Don't you worry. I want to bring up the visuals of Yu-Gi-Oh! For a moment, because this and another series that we will talk about later has some of my favorite art design and art styles in all of shonens. Characters all have their own goals for dueling. And you could see that passion in how a character can scratch your claw and wait through a win, or if they lose. I want to end off this segment with one last topic, and that is, what is the bond between someone? Maybe that be someone you love, or maybe that be someone you just have to deal with. Now, let me ask you this. Your friends, do you love them? I bring this up because in Yu-Gi-Oh! One of my favorite panels of all time is when Yugi tells his bully turned friend Junichi that he gave him courage to fight, and he loves him. Yugi was this kid that got bullied, not having much friends except Anzu and his grandpa in his games. Junichi used to bully Yugi, not to make fun of him, but because he wanted him to stand up for himself. When Yugi got Yami, he had courage, but it wasn't truly himself. It's when Yugi hung out with his friends, was when he was fully more courageous. I bring up this panel to say that this is Yugi truly thanking Junichi for letting him be who he is today. Also, random fact, Yami once lit a robber on fire by making him pour alcohol on himself. To Love Ru is a comedy, drama, ecchi shonen. Now, there's a key word of what I said, Ryan. Ecchi refers to erotic, but not absurdly sexual content. Now, I knew what I was signing myself up for to see when I first watched To Love Ru, but I wasn't really expecting well-written characters and extremely fun moments in the series. And then I persuaded everybody to go watch this series that has a full chesticle on the 17th page of Volume 1. But I do have a lot of attachment to the series, and I know a series like this should not have a lasting impression on me, but it does, and I'm okay with that. I definitely cannot give this series the justice it deserves, but I will recommend a video by Neil Dory. I definitely butchered that name to all hell, where they go into better detail about this titty-filled series. Yu Yu Hakusho, like Dragon Ball, was one of those animes from the 90s I heard a lot about. I watched the first episode and just ran with this series. Yusuke as protagonist was so different from what I was used to. He was abrasive, he spoke his mind, he had a level of heart that is still unraveled to this day. Kuwabara was one of my favorite friend characters. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but like Yusuke, he had heart. And Kuwabara is a man! Kie is a generational villain to friend character that is an absolute badass in his own league of swordsmen. Kurama is a character that is always surprising me, showing off his battle skills, smarts, and his flair. He always has an air of mystery to him that I feel that most shonens can't really capture. Yu Yu Hakusho has to this day my favorite tournament arcs in the Dark Tournament. An arc full of amazing battles, creative finishes, and emotional beats that are burned into my mind. Yusuke's torture training, Kuwabara's speech, Hiei's dragging of the darkness flame, Kurama's planting a seed in his arm to stab his opponent through the heart, Genkai's death, and finally Yusuke versus Taguro. Yu Yu Hakusho is easily in my top 10 of animes and will probably never die out. Hopefully when I do die, I want to become a spirit detective and have a spirit gun. Also, Botan was fire! I don't know where to start with Gintama. Maybe I could talk about the comedy where it can go from mispronouncing help me to or having Gintoki, the main character, get his testicles destroyed by a giant club. Or maybe sneezing for no reason. Maybe I could talk about the references from the show, like Bleach and Dragon Ball, or maybe Doraemon. And pop culture like Will Smith and Michael Jackson. Or maybe we could talk about the amazing arcs like the Shogun Assassination. An arc full of so many twists and turns, I cannot talk about it. Hitman is a series you have to experience yourself. Some jokes will not hit and story beats will not have the same impact if I just told you everything. But I will talk about one thing, that is Gintoki and Kagura. Gintoki is one of those shonen protagonists that's haunted by his past. He was blamed for his master's death and lost all his comrades, Katsura, Takasugi, and Sakamoto. Katsura became a terrorist and now hangs out with a giant duck creature named Elizabeth, and he's the best character in the series, by the way. He always has the funniest jokes. Takasugi started an extremist faction, and Sakamoto is now in space doing one big Star Wars joke. Now, Gintoki is not the type of protag you would think. He's rude, gross, and idiotic at times, but he does want the best out of situations no matter what. And I fully relate to Gintoki. His past comes back to bite him in the ass on multiple occasions, but he still fights along this way to make the best out of situations. Now, let's bring up Kagura. She's like Gintoki in the fact that she's rude, gross, and idiotic at times, but Kagura is a lot more mean-spirited. But that's not her choice. It's because it's in her blood. She comes from an alien race called the Yato, a race that is cruel and have more bloodlust than the entirety of this universe combined. A lot of Kagura's stories is not wanting to go down the path of the warrior she doesn't want to be. A sentiment I always agree with being your own self and to live your own life. Gintama is my favorite anime of all time, so I recommend it to you if you want some hilarious jokes and some tear-jerking emotional beats. Haikyu was the first sports anime I've ever seen, and what a series to start off with. Characters have so much charm to them to where you want them to win and improve and shoot to the top. Volleyball matches start to feel like a war zone by the final minutes, where characters scramble to get a point. I always feel for a good underdog story. You need characters that you can believe can make it, and Karasuno is just that. Every single character on the team has their place. Kageyama is a setter, Nishinoya is the libero, Daichi, Sugawara, and Ashi, the aces, and Hinata, the spiker. Moments are topped off with an amazing soundtrack, making your heart pump, your blood rush. Characters win and you feel like you won with them. And when a character loses, it's soul-crushing, like you lost a game too. Even if you don't like sports anime, try Haikyu. It might just prove you wrong. As a fan of horror movies and the horror genre in general, D.gray-man was a series I knew I was going to love. The power system was so different. No character felt overpowered. Everything felt fair, which led to battles feeling so tense and extreme. Alan Walker as a main character is so underrated. From his powers to his design to his personality, he's so unique. I wish more people talked about him. I don't have much to say about D.gray-man because unfortunately the series is always on hiatus and is not finished. So whenever it does finish, hopefully I can come back to this video with a big old open arms and say, yeah, this is one of the greatest series of all time. Hitman Reborn was a series I came across from J-Star's Victory Versus. Seeing Tsunayoshi and seeing how cool he looked, I decided to give the series a try, and I was not expecting it to be extremely weird. With him not fully controlling his powers, to like the jokes and everything, this series was odd. The style of this series is so early 2000s. The battle system has so much thought put into it, where everything just works out in such a cool, different way. Everybody has such unique powers to where you don't even see it in any other series. Yes, there's beams and stuff and lasers and whatever, but most of the time, characters use stuff like bombs or knives in very weird, unconditional ways. Hitman Reborn is such a unique battle shonen that isn't as popular as other shonens like One Piece, Bleach, or Naruto, which I feel that it has some of the same elements that can make it just as big as all those three. Please give Hitman Reborn a chance. My final series I want to talk about is Shaman King. Shaman King showed me the beauty of other people's culture, whether that be from how people dress or how people worship the dead. Shaman King has a heart and beauty to its story. Characters are attached to their spirits, and their spirits are attached to them. They always use them in battle with so much emotion. The power system is definitely the most insane system I've ever seen in any fighting shonen ever. Characters combine souls to their bodies, souls to their weapons, and their bodies to their weapons to create even insane layers of death in battle. Characters have so much personality thanks to amazing writing and one of my favorite art styles in all of manga. Yo Asakura as a main character is so level-headed, and he always feels that no matter what, he can make it through the hardships. His fiance, yes, I mean fiance. Watch the series to find out. His fiance Anna is one of those characters that always wants the best of him. She does push him and is mean to him, but at the end of the day, she loves him and knows that he can become the Shaman King. Tao Ren is one of my favorite spear fighters in all of anime and manga. Horror is an ice user that has so much style, the way he talks and acts, and he's just so cool. No pun intended. Jocko or Choco Love, Rio and Faust add to their weirder side of Shaman King, with Jocko being a thug that just wants to leave his poverty life and be free with money. And Faust, having his dead wife in his life, now understands that he has to keep living so he can meet his dead wife in the afterlife. Rio doesn't want to be Shaman King, but he does want to help Yo accomplish his goal. Lyserk is a character that shocked me with his betrayal. He was so sweet and kind and caring, and to see him work for an organization that wants peace in the worst way broke my heart reading it happen. He does come back. Don't worry about that. He does come back. He's a good boy. Went to college. I always recommend Shaman King's others. It's so unique and different to where I will remember the series no matter what happens in my life. And we have made it to the end of part 1. I wanted to end off parts of this series with other animes and manga that I will watch or read in the future. I'll have 5 series that I show at the end of each video, so thank you for watching. Love y'all.
We await your return, warrior.